grid ranking week 25. And we saw Max Verstappen. He essentially lost some points, but he still leads easily down to 22.73. The big thing was when you're leading a race, you're going to score points. But when you come from the back towards the front, you're also going to score some points as well. So climbing sixth position from 11th to finish fifth, that helped him maintain a good, healthy amount of points. Brock Feeney moved up 2 spots to eighth after his win, while the other supercar drivers in the top 10, they all gained points with their strong finishes, but no position changes occurred. Now, Isha, talking about F1, we saw essentially Max Verstappen put together a great effort to go from 11th. Then he went as high as second place, but then the pit stops had to go down to 15th, then the come up to fifth. Does this indicate Max and Red Bull can still win from almost any position?
Joe, I think this is a little specific to the events that we saw happen today. Going from 11th to second, that only happened because we had a safety car out on the track and the drivers ahead of him decided to pit. And then later he came down to 15th place because, he had old tires and then everyone else ahead of him was on new sets of tires. So, I think that Max and Red Bull can win from any position up in, like, the top 10 at least, or maybe, like, the top 8 or 7, but I think that once it gets to, like, anything under the 10 top positions, I think it's just too hard for him, and I think that it was worse with this track because it's a street circuit, so it was tighter, it's harder for him to overtake the drivers, and on top of that, he was facing all of the car troubles that we saw him and Sergio Perez face, this past weekend. So, as far as my answer to the question goes, I think that Max can win from quite a lot of positions, but from almost any position, I don't think so.
Yeah, easiest way to do it, stay up front, win from the pole. That also gets more points as well in the grid ranking. Now, taking a look at the full grid ranking, Carlos Sainz moved up to 34th in the grid ranking. Denny Hamlin, the big mover of the weekend, from 26th to 20th, and now he is the lead NASCAR driver in the grid ranking. He only has a 48% top 10 finish rate and a 37% top 5 finish rate. Now, when you compare that to other series, of course, Max Verstappen, below 100% top 10 finish rate. The big thing when it comes to the NASCAR drivers, they have some of the lowest top 10 finish percentages out of any series. But NASCAR has the biggest competition strength since they have 36 vehicles per race. Now, Alex, when it comes to the playoffs, in the past, we've seen where drivers, it seems they enter a new mode in the playoffs. They're in the playoffs, they're more dominant, they're more consistently towards the front. Last year was a little bit different. Do you believe Denny Hamlin can he improve his top 10 finish rate in the remaining playoff races?
I think he totally can. I think this next round of the playoffs might be a little challenging to do that. But after that, I think he totally can because right now you just need to have flawless, perfect races. And right now, Denny Hamlin's really doing that. Barring the loose wheel he had at Darlington, I think he would have done that. He would have in the first few rounds of the playoffs here. So I totally think that Denny Hamlin could keep getting these top tens back to back to back. And honestly, I think he might get a bunch more wins as well. So it's going to be fun to watch for sure with Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin, potential to get wins, and of course, that'll help him move up to grid ranking. You can follow the grid ranking on Twitter, X now, Instagram, social media, and of course, our website, gridranking.com.